I think that's a good enough time to get started anyway. Also, welcome bits. Let's pop over to this window. So, today I decided instead of having any specific theme or really, I don't know, any objective in mind, we're just gonna go with it. I opened up a ton of my unfinished products musically, just little projects that I pulled out from the looping section in the way that I make it. Also, I should start at the top. Hello and welcome to the stream. I'm Violet Vexen. I'm not a Phlox plushie. I got shoved into this by my deranged captain. I am a loop artist who makes background music for streamers, podcasters, and really anybody who needs music at all. And you can find links to my commissions and shop page on Coffee under the same name. I also post on YouTube, and you can catch me variety gaming with, well, the crazy crew I run around with. So, now that that's out of the way, I think we can just pop over to the booth. There we are. Yes, welcome to the booth. Let's think about what we're gonna be doing. Honestly, I'm just gonna play a bunch of my unfinished, and some of them are labeled after a certain point. I was like, I have to label these things because as much as I love the program that I use to make this music, that's BandLabs, unfortunately, they do not have a great system for organization. So some of these things don't even have the unfinished tag. I'll probably fix those as we go. But from time to time, I've discovered sometimes setting a concept on the shelf and then coming back to it later honestly allows it to kind of rest on hold. I've had several projects that came about because I set something on the shelf. I would say that a really good example is, in fact, Running Clock. This project started out with 2 lines, and I thought to myself, this would make a great piece of music about a clock. And oh, what the? No, I don't want. No, get out of here like that. And I thought to myself, I really want to make this happen. And let me just give an example real quick. So I found just those 2 pieces. And I thought to myself, I have to make a song like about this, about a clock. And it sounds compelling. It sounds anxious. It sounds like you're running out of time. Those were the only 2 pieces, and I set them on the shelf for like 2 months, and it became this. I did not find the accompanying pieces for this until, I think, 2 months after I started this project. And I had been working on, I think, a concept for Spacefish, and as I was pulling through the loops in BandLabs, as I do, these pieces stuck out to me, and I thought, oh my goodness, all of this amounts to a very compelling story to be told with music. And I had to go find the sounds of like glass breaking because BandLabs did not have that sound effect that I could find. It probably does exist. It might be under a name that I didn't see. I will admit to being lazy where some of the music didn't meet up, but you know what? I won't make you listen to the entire song, but I will tell the story of basically how I wound up in the Discord and Reddit circles for BandLabs itself. So, funny fact, I was so excited at finding pieces that finally matched my idea for this that I was vibrating, I was bopping, I was jamming, I was cooking, there was nonsense coming out of my face, and I finished this project in probably a day. I was so happy with how it turned out. I immediately posted it to YouTube, got the picture already, went to sleep, and woke up the next day, and I thought, I want to hear my song. So I opened up my YouTube, turned it on, and what I heard was not the teaser I just gave you. You can feel free to go look at the rest of that on my YouTube. What I heard, in fact, was this. In the first 5 to 8 seconds, the dynamic audio that I had programmed in for this was gone. And I have never deleted a video so quickly in my life. I panicked hardcore. I was asking questions. I was getting in the Reddit. I was getting in the Discord. I was like, what is going on? And it turns out that BandLabs was actually kind of going through sort of like a system implementation of making it easier for people to manipulate the different sound bites and whatnot. And because of that, the memory of the BandLab storage was actually being affected. So I wasn't the only one going through memory issues. And by the time I got done with this piece, I was so tired. I was so done. I was so done having to like wait on pins and needles for this to be finished that I just posted it, even with some of the not so hot corrections I put in the middle that were very lazy. I was very done with worrying about the concept, and by the time I actually confirmably had the copy of the song that had my dynamic audio, I was like, post it, I'm done. I don't care that those mess ups are there. If somebody complains or wants them changed, I will do that. But yeah, so that's how I wound up in the Discord and in the Reddit for BandLabs, is because I literally had a heart attack and panicked over my music not turning out the way that I desired it. I can already see that Unfinished did not wind up on this roster either. Let's find out what this even has. Okay. A little bit of quiet bluegrass rock here. Oh? Oh my gosh, I missed it because there's sounds. Hello. I don't know what this is. Hello, Mothy. Hello, hello. I assume that was probably a follow, so thank you for that, if that's what just happened, because frankly, actually, I could just go in here and look at OBS. Yes, thank you, Mothy, for the follow. Next time I won't panic, I'll just go look at OBS, because OBS tells me what goes on. We are listening to some of my unfinished products in BandLabs, just kind of goofing about and seeing what's in there. Well, that's shaping up to not be too bad. I wouldn't even call this something... It was definitely something else up in this title, so I really quickly changed it to something less embarrassing. Something rockabilly. Yeah, something rockabilly actually describes this a little bit better. What's this one? Oddball. I have no idea what this might be. I could see that working into something creepy, kind of like Chemical X did, honestly. I want to hear that intro one more time. It like rises into a very interesting suspense. Very interesting little piece there. And with the unfinished theme. Oh, finfished. Jeez. What's this one? What have you been up to today, Mothy? Okay, hang on a minute. I mean, if somebody happens to be a really big fan of conga-esque, I'm not gonna put that under new funk. I'm gonna put that under conga beat. Funky conga. Somebody ordered some cowbell. My goodness. Oh, okay. This one was called Choir in the Forest because I actually blended two different kits. Oop. So, we have the forest pieces, but we also have... That's too loud. Oh, look! A Foxy sound! Thank you, Error, and welcome. We are just messing around with some of my unfinished concepts. Kind of peeking in, looking to see what's in there that I haven't touched in a while or forgot I even had. These are loud. I want these to go down. Whatever's going on here, I don't want it to be this loud. I know that it's an oceanic kind of ambiance that I put there, but it's a little bit much. Just a little bit. Go ahead and drop that a touch. Also, those dips you see, there's like a child screaming. Like somebody actually genuinely took beach sounds, including somebody with their kids, which is fine, you know, and you want some real sounds of life, especially if you're making something very cinematographic, or maybe your music video does in fact happen at a pier. That's not a bad thing to have, but if you don't want it, I could even just patch over it with more of the ocean sounds if I really didn't want that to dip the way it does, so I am not worried. It's very whimsical, very whimsy world. But that flute's getting annoying. I want that lower. I want that a lot lower. Let's go down. And I thereby want the wind lower. Jeez. What was I thinking with these volumes? Holy crud. I am so sorry you have to hear basically electronic wind out the wazoo. What have you been up to, Error? Gentle wind, like rustling of leaves, not an attack. This isn't awful, it's just... boring's the wrong word. It's definitely dynamic. It's just, it needs a little bit more before I would post this. I feel like if I found something that I thought would go well, some kind of decent additive to kind of kick this up a notch, then I would probably post it. Because as it stands, that repetition is a little high. Oh, apparently it wasn't done. Hang on. No, that's the fade out. Okay, first of all, if the fade out has the decibels at literally infinite zero, just cut the music off. There is no need to drag that out any further. In fact, we're going to actually drag this to that line so that we have a nice clean cutoff point. Boom. Same with this. No, it fades by the time we reach this point, so I'm okay with it. Could just make like the common finality out there instead. There we go. At least fix it a bit. Oh, I see why. I wouldn't have wanted that sound just there. Yeah, I don't want that. In any case, so that was interesting, and those ambiance sounds of wind and ocean definitely needed to have been tamed down a bit. So we're gonna save the progress on this. Let's see. The next one is oh no. If you ever see me put something that looks like lol what? Be careful. I have no idea what this is gonna be. Okay, well hang on. Why wouldn't I have what? Why would I do that and not continue the sound? Like granted that went on way too long. What kind of dynamic audio do we have on this? Whatever it is, it needs to get moved. Oh, I see. Okay, okay. I am not afraid of this, and what we're going to do is we're going to actually create... Ooh, I do want to go through some of these new additions to the looping section on BandLabs. Resonance tab. Oh boy, what did I do? Just like go through these and find some that I thought sounded well together? Probably. In a... Oh, just 2 bars. That's the one. All right. Just gonna make it. Ooh. Did I cut that? I must have. Weird. Why would I have cut this if it already exists as an entire huge file? There was something in that sound that I didn't like, and I modified for reasons I am unaware of at this time, but trust the process. We are going to move this one down. Ooh. Oh, that doesn't need either. Yes, move. Okay, and I'm actually gonna copy and pasta this one. I imbibe of the copy pasta. Oh. And when that starts, I want this one to take a dip. So let's do this. Yep. Just gonna drop a bit. Now let's see what happens. Ah, shoot. I forgot just how long this is. We are gonna bring everything over because that intro doesn't need to be as long as it was with nothing going on. Scooby Doo boop. No, you know. Oh, and that seems to happen at an arbitrary two measures in. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and move all of the automation data for me, please. Oh, it did. Thank goodness. Sometimes BandLabs takes a big derp when it comes to moving automation data. Now, I have noticed if I'm moving an entire block of different sound layers and all their automation data, it's asking the computer a bit much to keep track of all of that. But if I just highlight the entire line, it seems to do a lot better, I've found. And this one started here, then 2 measures back from that point. We're gonna want it. Oop. whatever this is, I do want to hear it in its entirety. I just want things to not be atrocious when we. Uh-oh. I can see that wasn't how that was. Ah, I see. Okay. We're gonna do myself a favor then. One of those, so that when I do move this, it retains. Pew. And boop. Yes, please move the automation data. So now it should look similar. All right, let's take that from the top. That work? Ooh. Very video game. Okay, that has a lot of potential. Huh. I like. Let's see about grabbing this one more time for one. And following it to its natural conclusion here. No, do not move the automation data. I want to follow the concept here. Oop. A sharp dip. And then... the fuck sound! Z, welcome to the stream. We are just palling around in Band Labs, kind of looking at some of the concepts that I have forgotten, abandoned, who knows what. All of them are just the unfinished things that fall into the cracks that even... Okay, to be fair, and I should start at the top. Welcome to the stream. My name is Violet Vexen. I am not a Fox plushie. My deranged captain shoved me in here. What I am is a loop artist. I make background musics for streamers and podcasters by request, and even generic ones that people are free to purchase off of my Ko-fi page. And today, I'm also a variety gamer, but today, instead of working on a specific project, we are just kind of tootling about in some of the unfinished or forgotten projects that I had just locked away in my library. So sit back, relax, and allow me to entertain you on some of the wildest stuff that I have put away into my closet of skeletons, for sure. No, this one needs a better name than lol what. I definitely had a concept kind of forming here. It just never... I might have made this when I was looking around to do concepts for Pulu. This sounds very like where my head was when I was working with her. If you haven't seen Pulu VT, she is a Finnish English VTuber and very fun content there. I will definitely shout that out. Yeah, pigeon cake. Okay, I want that to end in the same category here. Let's actually make a taper off that matches the above. Yeah. So there's the high point. We want to put the high point back here. And then it really tapers out there, so I want one of those. See if that matches. A little further back. The taper needs to be better. Oh, this. Yeah, whatever happens for like with this concept from here forward, I like the way that this has gone. I don't know if this would be cinematographically inclined, or maybe a client asks for something that's very in the like Tron category, Wave Runner, some kind of. I'll put gaming, suspense gaming. Yeah, that's a decent title to kind of remember what this concept feels like. Oh, hydrate. I didn't notice that. Thank you for the care drop there. Let me go ahead and get that. Thank you, Z. All right, now let's open up the next possible escape plotting villain. Oh, this could be interesting. Oh, I like this already. Like, I could literally hear this with, like, you know, Jack Sparrow, hands bound against a palm tree, and someone's like, nothing! We're gonna die! There's no possible way! This is very interesting. At the same time, if somebody's plotting revenge. That came in a bit strong. Let's fix that, shall we? Number 1, volumes need to match. Number 2, and I hear where that's going. I want that to taper in just a touch. Let's try that again. Back it up a couple measures and... Ooh, let's do a crossfade. Just a small one. Ooh, and a cymbal swell? Hang on, one of my favorite sounds. Eh. Oops. Why did that instantaneously make me think back to Blue's Clues when, like, Steve is about to reveal what the entire concept is, and he's like, our thinking chair, let's think. In any case. But I want that to come in a little bit more stark, a little quicker than it does. Hang on a minute. I think I have a drum for this too. Hold on a minute. Hold the fun. Let me see. Nope. There's the... No, not that at all. Ew. It was either Big Balls drum or Drums of the Deep, and I don't remember which. I save a lot of... Oh, I'm still in the looping section. Why? Dear Lord. Gosh. No. That's the brushes that I showed to as VD. Actually, these might do. Yikes, that's being slowed down so much. You can hear how it's dragging. That one too. Oof. First things first, I'm a revolutionary. Whoa. Sorry. Get out of here like that. Oh, Drums of the Deep. I've definitely used those for different projects. Let me get my head around this again. Maybe. Hold on. Maybe. Hold the phone. Soften it a bit. Drop the volume. And let's find out. I was very much needing that to be different. I can see why I cut this up in a different I just went through and kind of opened up the guts on one of the songs I have currently up on my YouTube, and this particular drum line had been kind of fruit ninja'd quite a bit. And I can see why, because that very distinctive intro there, that strike, strike, strike. I like the way that goes, and I want to see more of that here if I can. Number one, I want to drop the volume. Number two, I want to see some bass boost on this. So let's go ahead and give the kick a bit of help. One of the pre-made sound portions, sound effects. For anybody who doesn't know how to use BandLabs, and honestly, I only watched a 40-minute video to get around in BandLabs. It's not something that's locked behind any kind of wall of knowledge, but there are effects that you can put on any line of sound, whether you throw up vocals, instrumentals, a rubber chicken, I don't care. And instead of having to basically on your own add effects that you don't know how to use, I could distort the sound to the point where you can't even recognize it as a sound anymore. But there are thankfully people who actually go through and make pre-made effect sound kits, and they are very, very distinctive, very helpful. Solid Sparkle will help clean up some of your guitar tones. I use ambient wind if I want something to sound hollow and echoey and very, very ethereal. I'll use Classic Chamber if I want an echo and a broader sound, but not necessarily ambient wind levels. And for this, I very much love using a bass boost when it comes to any kind of drum. So what I'm probably going to do is try and copy and paste this on a repetition cycle. Let's see how this goes. Oh, I like copy, paste. Yay. I love when a plan comes together. I want that first one to not be soft anymore, so now paste. And let's listen. Right where that changes. Let's see about that real quick. Let's see what happens if we actually put the original track for this back in. Because the music has changed up here, and I want to see what that could potentially look like. In fact, back up this one and back a bit, because it's just a continuation of the same concept here. Okay, that's not bad. I'm gonna leave this alone, and that might also be a project for another day. I will give it the unfinished label, because the next time we want to have a derp about day, I will be very easily able to figure out which of these concepts I have brought forward to kind of run under the nose. Sometimes I don't come back to these concepts for months, and something I find in BandLabs or something I'm working on with another person will actually spark a memory of these sounds. Sometimes it's percussion, sometimes it's intensity, sometimes it's an effect I found, and somewhere in my brain, all of these are kind of floating about with possibility attached. I just got done making Astral Tide. My buddy Smug Little Bug just picked it up and has started using that for his intro. We'll throw a shout out because Smug is awesome. But more significantly, I remember I was getting through kind of the 2/3 through Astral Tide, and I thought, why does this guitar sound I'm listening to sound familiar? I know I've used this, but it's not something that's on my YouTube. And sure enough, I went pulling through my unfinished projects, and there was the I would say the last third of Astral Tide was already sitting there nearly pre-made because I had found concepts that I liked together but didn't actually have a cohesive thought behind them. So I tucked it away, and sure enough, it completed that piece of music. And I love when that happens. It kind of just really makes me start like jittering and rocking in my seat and cooking in the booth, and I'll be rubbing my hands like a gremlin. It's just so awesome. I love the way that particular song turned out. Feel free to go check it out on my YouTube, or you can hit the follow for Smug Little Bug's channel. He's a great guy. Radio smooth talking voice, and variety content, I'll definitely say, from voice acting to variety gaming. Definitely worth your time. But he's also using the new piece of music I was just talking about, and that honestly, at the moment, seems more particular to what we're discussing. But this will definitely be on the shelf for... What is this? Okay, this sounds intriguing, but what's connected to it? Because I can hear a lot of different places that this could go. Number one, and largely, is R&B, lo-fi aesthetic here. Let me see if I can look this particular one up. Keys 1, 2, 5. A minor, goal. Yeah, there's an entire kit for this, it seems. Let's... Okay, I'll bite. Let's throw it down. Get some of that in there, a little bit of this Vox. So what I'm building right now, I've come to kind of describe as a kit. Some of my music on my YouTube is just throwing a kit together, and I will admit that it took almost no effort to bring some of those to life. Somebody put the effort to make these excuse me, these sound bites work together and meant to be together. They're all copyright free, they're all royalty free. That's not a problem. But for me, this is as low effort as I will ever get, because some of my pieces are built from pieces that never would have gone together. And some of my pieces are this, me throwing together a kit and seeing how it sounds. Sometimes I will not use pieces in certain kits. Sometimes kits have multiple iterations of different key signatures or different rhythm patterns, and they're all still submitted in the same batch of kits. So I'm not going to say that what I'm doing is unoriginal. I'm not going to say that it's ripping off. But at the same time, this is definitely one of the lowest effort methods I have, and I'm not proud of that fact. I do like the music that comes from it. I'd say that Sunset's Way and Cloud Cruise are some of my most chill tracks, and I love that fact. See, let's get whatever this O is in there. I want to see how this all unfolds. Because if the only thing I found that was of value to me had been that keys up there, I'll probably just revert this back to the way it was. But I am interested. I want to see where the original creator, what they had in mind when they made that set of sounds. All right, looks like we have all of... Oh, there is a full melody here and a full drum loop. Interesting. Let's just find out. Okay, I'm less than impressed with the 808s. Let's remove that real quick. So, for me, it's bright and sparkly and it goes almost nowhere. It has almost no substance. I do want to hear a couple of these things on their own, though. I'm going to pull another client concept because I feel that this might actually be in line with one of the requests I currently have open. For those of you who haven't possibly been in the streams in the last couple of weeks, I have been working with Asviti. She's a White Lion VTuber. Her content is very wholesome, and she asked for some very specific lo-fi requests, but the branch offs that I have from that project have actually not gone unnoticed. She was very interested in some of the things that fell out in the betweens. So let me just sneak this in here. I crack that open real quick. I'm also going to give the shout out because shout outs are free. I know that people are like, oh my gosh, you shout out so many people, listen to me. This is free. It costs me all of free. And if I'm referencing somebody that I have worked for or done music for, I'm definitely going to give a reference to where that music is located and the how and the mood and the why. So yeah, if you like adorable content, feel free to go give her a follow. Okay, now one of the things I did notice in this track is this texture here. My process on BandLabs actually involves pulling all of these royalty-free sound loops and putting them together in a cohesive manner, whether to imitate a style that appeals to my client or to create a style for their channel. And one of the requests I've gotten, honestly more than once, is radio static, which is a very interesting it's a very interesting thing with the radio static, but I am very landlocked in the way that somebody writes in these sound bites. I am wholly dependent on them. Thank you, people who write in the sound bites. I wouldn't be doing this the way I am if they weren't there. But sometimes the descriptors can get interesting, which is why I'm glad I have the ability to favorites any sounds I enjoy. What's this? Saving that for fish. What's this? And they go together. That's adorable. Okay. Right, this synth line here. I am going to save that. And its textured partner, I believe. So if I unhighlight that and highlight the texture here. The texture doesn't strike me as radio static sounds. So unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to use that one. I do need to see if there's an effect that makes things sound old-timey radio. So there is that. I might have to download and then upload an example and flip through some of the effects to find out because let's see. This is a very rough sketch of the concept I have right now. That is a possible outro. Key change. Okay, I didn't like that gap. It's very noticeable. Might have to fix that. And granted, most of these pieces are not in any way, shape, or form lined up to their furthest possible extent. I'm very, very aware of that. I definitely took a really quick grab and drag for a lot of this, so not a huge concern at the moment. But I do want that gap to go away. Oh no, was that the only thing that... that was the only thing that stayed. That's fine. I can move everything else. Let's... Oh, gosh. Right there. Okay. First of all, I want my beat to start there. Let's drag the entire beat line. Go. And the symbols need to be on point. Let's throw that over here. Yes, move the animation data. Where else do we have one? That. These symbols are placeholders, just because I needed some kind of transition sound. They are not permanent. I do have to spend some time looking around for some very... not zany is the wrong word, but some interesting kind of synthy sounds to go in the background of this. So, all right, let's get this back to the normal measure distance, shall we? Nope, that's too many. That looks right. Okay. That might be the taper point, considering how this pattern has gone. If we looped it, it would then start on the beginning again. Which also means that the drum would need to leave. How about... let's listen to that again. What kind of drum system did I? Oh, right. No, no, no. I had the brushes a little later. Mixed brushes. Something to play around. For sure, for sure. For now, I'm going to throw her concept at the back. I don't... I'm going to revert this instead of trying to see about anything else. Well, hang on. Solo, solo. Let's see if the beat's savable. Man, like, I'm trying so hard to find something in here that I would consider salvageable, and I don't like this whole kit, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna revert this. We are going to exit without saving. Oh, yes, we're gonna do that. And then later, I will throw unfinished on that, just so that I know that that particular series of keys, I could probably make that work and fold it into a lo-fi theme somewhere, but everything else was just not working for me. What is this? I don't know what this is. It looks like it's been thawed a bit. Yikes. I'm open crossed. Oh. Oh, this is the piece that I wound up folding into the one for Smug. This was the thing that I went back and found because I heard that top line. I heard this while I was pulling through looking for pieces to add to Smug's. Well, I shouldn't say that. When I was making it, I really didn't know if it was going to be Smug's or not, but yeah, this is that, which means... Wait, why was this saved here? Once I was done with that piece, I deleted it. Hang on. Maybe this wasn't the only time that I used it. See how easily the sound changes just because of these effects. Okay, now I really want to listen to the one to Astral Tide. We're gonna pull that up real quick. It's just too good. And that's it's not even me patting my back. Please don't hear that. It's actually me loving the way the music unfolded. It just there it is. I remember kind of going through the different musical pieces, trying to find something to give it an ending, and clicking on that sound. And I was like, I know I've heard this before. And before I could even get too far into the music, I found one of my unfinished pieces that said something like new guitar. And apparently it's not the only time I have pulled that guitar piece and said, hey, this sounds great. I want to know what it could sound like. And here's what it could sound like. I'm going to be honest. I did use both of them. Oh, but I don't know if I used the 3-bar. There's 1-bar. There's 2-bar, and there's a 3rd. Like, they only featured for a good 20 seconds, but it just kind of really busted in that finale there. And apparently that's not the only piece, because there's a 3rd bar here that I completely forgot existed. I might send this off to my guy and find out if he wants me to finish this, because honestly, if I can just turn this into a pairing to that first one, shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna save this, which will actually bring it to the top of my library as one of my most recently worked on. Very interesting. Let me see now. I'm gonna close that down for now. I'm gonna close most of the ones we've already looked through. Oddball was interesting. That Congo one is interesting. Fire in the Forest hasn't been finished, but it's got a label on it. Saved our work on that one. Didn't touch on it, but it does have the unfinished label. Let's see what else we can do. Endeavor. Wonder what this is. Try that again. There we go. Okay, I see what I was aiming for there, and it needs to be lower. Let's actually take this underneath the starting volume line and lower the height. Do that again. What was that just now? Oh, it's the ambient wind picking up on something. No, it just did a spike for no reason. Ooh, hello. I already see that's going to come in a bit sudden. Let's... Actually, it didn't. Ooh, okay. I'm hearing this, and I want that echo to come back in right there. Whatever that just was. Let's see this. Let me hear this again. Go right on that climb. Yes, move the automation data. I don't know why that was raised up. There must have been something sitting here. This definitely needs to go under unfinished. This has me excited. I really want to see where this, like, culminates to. Hang on a minute. But I want this to be an echo. Oh, okay. I'm gonna move it back up. I can see that I've already got it back here on the echo line. Let's see what... hold all of these, and we're gonna actually drop the volume on this and see if it works. If it doesn't, I will just move it back up. Put the automation data in here. Okay, so I already had the idea to combine these two concepts. And I can see that here, but I want the echo to be less of a texture. So let's see if this works. Okay. I want to run this again. And in the end there, I want to see if we can actually it's it's so interesting for me personally to see where I don't know how far back this project was, but I can already see the difference even a couple of months ago in how I want this to present itself and unfold. Truly, it's very strange. Okay, so that has its own melody bar. This says main melody, and now I want to know if I can pull this piece completely apart and play with it. Ooh, we might have an entire project lined up for another day. Yeah, that's definitely going to be like maybe later this week. I'll actually unpack this because as I'm going and I see dynamic places that I want this to be used and emphasized, I can tell that it would do better if I actually had that melody pulled apart and was looking kind of at the guts, as it were. So let's reverse this and let me try something a little more gradual. I love that bridge. I love the like gap. No, I don't like that, but I am going to duplicate. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that back down. And instead, I'm going to copy. Shrink. Want that last line to taper quite a bit. Oop. See if that works. That was not the last note. Whatever that was. I want it to be. Let's try that instead. I like the sustain. I don't like the sudden. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I need to do this, and I need to do this. Yeah, come. I like that. I like that quite a bit. I do want to pull this apart though, and I don't want to spend too much time on this one today. But this one's almost done. That's a full 2 minutes and 45 seconds of very compelling piano, I have to say. So I'm excited to kind of get that one out of the press. It's almost done. We are gonna save that and put it away. What's this? Solace? I don't even remember. I see that this was the beginning of a concept and it really hasn't gone anywhere. So we're gonna save that. I could really see this coming through on a different project later. So I'm not afraid of that at all. Let's go ahead and close that out. Waiting in the dark. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I have to say, if somebody's got creature-esque, deep space, dead space, this is definitely a sound aesthetic for that. Very horror suspense beginning. If you want to sound like a lobby for stinking Among Us, this is the sound. I like this. The texture gets like heavy at certain points and a little bit airy at certain points. I like this. Also glad that I maintained this the way I did. A lot of room for sound effects too. Yeah, I'm saving this. I like the titling. It's very apropos. And this is going to push that again back to the top of my roster when it comes to possible sounds, depending on potential requests in the future. I don't have to actually make all of these into something and post them on my YouTube. Some of them can just wait for the right person. Yeah, I like that. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, these violin samples. Oh goodness! So this was the leftovers from me pitching around some ideas with a previous client that is Tiny Lola Gaming, and she was a joy to work with. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna throw that shout out. I know that I've thrown tons of shout outs, and frankly, I know that my viewership might be myself, but I don't care. This is going to be a norm for me. So shout out to Tiny Lola. Love her channel. Feel free to go there. She's adorable, and she's from the UK, so I don't feel like I need to say much outside of that. But let's see. There were some saved concepts in here. This sound right here is actually the alert that I gave her. I think for a new follower. Yeah, she asked for a notification from me, so she got one. People who haven't heard that. I love how like her original request was like, "Oh, let's use some electric violins," and then by the time we were done, those were, I think, nowhere to be found. I felt bad, I really did, but she enjoyed the music so much. So why are they so quiet? That sounds like if you had music to a pipe bomb. Why does this beat continue so much past that point? Okay, get rid of this. We already... The time for an example was the end of that stanza. This is very concern, anxious, anticipation. I like the way that that sounds together. What about this? So much going on over here. What even was that sound just now? Electric discharge. Interesting. Gonna keep that in mind. I don't think I need to save this. I feel like this random eclectic amalgam of different concepts that I had, unless... I'm not going to save the changes. I am going to put mixed sound options. That's all I'm going to do, but I am going to leave the page. No, it didn't save. It just changed the title of what it is. Okay, cool. No, I don't want to save any of the work I did on that. Oh no, this could be bad. All I can see is the picture of like the dude holding up a question mark. He's like, is this techno? Is this winter? Oh, bad. Unfinished. Thankfully, BandLabs is a very easy system for me to make a small change that actually doesn't affect anything, just to mute or unmute or solo or unsolo something, and they're like, oh, do you want to save that data? So... oh, heavens, I don't know what this is. Enough. Okay, in the beginning, I was a little bit bogged down by just how much noise was going on. But I feel like that was an okay transition into what it became. I feel like the only things that need to really be changed are the volume dynamics and then the addition of whatever kind of beat or bass. It's very possible. And I feel like it should be on standby for a potential client. At some point, I may require one of these pieces or any of these combination of pieces to complete a concept like that. So I'm gonna keep this. Holland, I'm very interested in unpacking what this could be. I've played it a couple of times recently in streams, and I want to know what could become of these. See, now this is what I'm talking about. I automatically was thinking of one of the pieces that we were just listening to. So I'm actually going to, one moment. So hear me out. That bright little bit at the end, I want to see if it folds in with this. Let's paste this over here and go to the very end of playing around. I believe it was this. Number 69, Vices, E flat major in 120 BPM. Whoa, not that. This. I want to know if this could fold in. But I want it very quiet. Very quiet. Maybe not. I was very interested in that very bright keyboard sound at the butt of that, but it doesn't sound like it's going to work there, which is fine. We can delete this track line. Yeah, save, because at the very least I want Pollen to be on the top of my roster for concepts that I am loosely playing around with. I am, however, going to take a quick break. I'm going to go make myself some lunch, and I will throw you guys over into my BRB. So, 1 second.
If you don't know how to make chords, this is it. Congratulations.
DJs will put literally anything in front of the beat drop.
And that's a good place to come back in now that I've just scarfed down some lunch for myself. Let's go ahead and go back to the booth. And here we are doing pretty much nothing important, which is fine. I think we're almost done with the... Okay, that has some real potential to come into its own. Can unmute for the moment since she's not cranky just now. But one thing I did want to get done before really closing out today was looking through some of the newest submissions to BandLabs. This is one of the ways that I find I can get inspired, grab new concepts for the future, sometimes grab anything for a concept I'm currently working on. I will probably. I don't think we'll be on much longer, but that's definitely something I wanted to touch on before I closed out for today. Let's just kind of. Oh, that's the other thing. I wanted to actually lower this for you guys because, as I've mentioned in previous streams, when I pull these pre-made sounds off of BandLabs, they are very raw. They're not sound balanced at all, and I can't control that. But I can stop you guys from suffering from it. Tonic bend. Okay. Do all of these culminate into like one major? Oh, these are just some pieces, honestly. I'm not against it, honestly. Like, it sounds chaotic, but if somebody puts again, does what I do. If you take these pieces, if you can hear something coming to life, and you can mix and match and play and sort and bring out the thing that you imagine in your head. Oh my goodness, very España. I love it. There's just so much room you have just because somebody does throw in a ton of atonal slides, a ton of knock on wood, a ton of different renditions of things, so I'm not against it. Yes. I was hoping, but, you know, there's always the possibility that certain sounds just don't match up. Jeez. Okay, you've got my interest. I will line these up and see how they fit. Very Egyptians are actually from space. And while I personally don't necessarily subscribe to that, this is what that sounds like. Sounds like Goa'uld. Shout out to people who know that reference. Well, if nothing else, it sounds like Metroid. Dislike. And not for the Metroid part, but just because I was like, oh, well, that was interesting. I put it together, and now I don't need to listen to it anymore. No, hold on. Nobody said to do that. Sometimes if I'm not careful, and I like smack my mouse for whatever reason, it will actually interpret that as me dragging a piece of sound onto the board, and that's not necessarily the case. Okay, that I'm gonna keep just for fish. I know I can use that somewhere. Interesting. Could probably also use that somewhere. It's always nice to like grab new things to go into the favorites section and use later. Nope. I don't need bass kick that hard. I'm not making workout music, y'all. Nice to see that more synth strings are being added, I'm gonna be honest, because there have been times I've been requested for something like that, and it's very hard to find, depending. I really don't want to listen to so many bass, snare, percussion, kick. Jeez. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to listen to all of them separately, but listening to how they come together isn't off the table. And I will fully admit there are times when I will... Jeez. Yikes. That is a whole synth symphony. There are times when if I maybe am looking for something very specific, I will actually type in one of the large lock keyword searches. So there's, as we saw here, full loop. I will type in full loop, and everything that has full loop will show up. And that could be any number of already preset drum, bass, kick, snare, melody, harmony, etc., all compiled into one soundbite. Another, I think, was Master Edition or something like that. But sometimes full melody, full loop, I'll go through and see if there's a sound or even a series of sounds I want. Bacon! And thank you for the stretch! Oh my goodness. How you doing, Bacon? My gosh. Okay, so one thing that makes me very happy is that these are written under strings, so if I ever actually need some compelling strings, now when I go look in the string section, I know that I could find this simply for being there, so that's very nice. Same thing with these piano. Sounds more like pipes, personally. I'm good, just eating before getting ready for bed. Nice, nice. Well, I hope you had a decent day, and I hope you have a decent sleep, so there's that. These are very compelling. I can also see a lot of people rapping to the— oh gosh, please stop, I don't want your perk loops. Get out! Go away. I left one set of perk loops to go just straight into drums. Okay, that gives me very Lord of the Rings background. This sounds like the music that plays around in the background when a character is like walking around a place they feel like they shouldn't be. I'm going to keep that last one, just because they've spelled symphony differently here, and I want to be able to reference this at some point if I want it. Full sample. We have just been kind of looking around in BandLabs through some of my older projects that have honestly gone unfinished or even forgotten. Been meaning to do it for a while, and I figured why not on stream? was an interesting piece just there. We'll lurk now. Have a good lurk, Bacon. Thank you for the redeem. Good luck to you. Let me keep hold of that. Miss Steinway. Old Lang was high. Forgot and never brought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot and take bold time. Well, are these all labeled with LBC? I'll remember that. Also, hot take, that intro beat could have used an extra kick later that was not grouped with the rest of them. Right there. Ladies. That's all this is called. Ladies. Started with me, where we both belong, how we wanted to be. Songs to you, now I see how far you've fallen back from me, 'cause you yeah, very common chord progressions. There's 100 songs I could sing to that. Not that it's bad. Honestly, everybody loves those chord progressions for a very significant reason. Dear Margaret. Dear Regret. Mr. Kawaii. Mr. Cute? What is this? Oh my goodness. Dubtech. Interesting. Is this a lament for Mr. Cute? Did he die? Is this a dirge? I think Mr. Cute died. That's what that was for. Jeez. I'm gonna keep that for a very specific reason. Ow. Also, for anybody interested in band labs at all, I find that the best way to kind of pull through any new content that they upload is to actually create a new project, because the project key is blank. It's probably the only time I can get it that way is if I start a brand new blank studio session. At that point, all of these are being played in their correct key, and time signature is brought No, I think the time signatures actually do also fit their original design, or maybe when you pull it in, it'll go to 128 instead. But from what I've kind of understood, the new studio session is the blank page where you can hear all of these in their proper context. Gosh, that's annoying. What are these? Yikes. Whatever it was, I'm not interested. Not like that. Drums, hits, perk, scratch, blah, 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 blah. Wow. Oh. Let me see. Jeez. I mean, granted, people who post giant kits like that are the reason I get some of my work done. Oh my goodness. Ow. No, I didn't mean to do this. Get out. Oh no. Did it? Okay, not by far. There we go. Kicks and hats and drums and hats and kicks and hats and drums and hats, and I just need the melodies. That's what I was seeing earlier. If the melodies were something, that's a different story, and then I can kind of build it from that melody part. The trouble is, there's so many of them in here. These all sound like somebody trying to start their rap record, which ain't me, so I'm good. I'll keep the laser sound, yes please. Downlifters, drum kits, a lot of... Again, if I generically type in drum or bass because I need them for a project, I love the fact that these exist and that people are constantly adding to the mix of what you can find. I like. How long have we been on now? 2:14. We'll push it to 2:30 and probably call it, because unless for some reason my captain decides to call on me for gaming, which I doubt will happen at the moment, that would be the only reason I switch keys, switch tacks here. Bass, drums, drums, hats, shaker, effect. I'm not afraid of that. I kind of like that. I'm also not afraid of that. Whole lot of this. Jedi, there's a lot of guitar here. Guitalele. Guitalele. Ukulele. Somebody combined guitar and ukulele, and I don't understand what the combination is, but the sound isn't awful. It's just not something I'm looking for. This one's an ice cold, Michelle 5 of that white gold. Very much the same sensation just there. Starships, granular. MZIC in all caps. I don't know what that means. Bass, noises, up, down. People have been busy. That's what I can see. Let me see now. Oh, effects. With my notice. Tender. Pokes Wagyu beef. Tender. Yeah, looks like nothing super good has been added outside of that. Again, all of these things, I'm very much skimming the descriptions, and it's pianos, shakers, loops, etc., drill. Not a bunch of stuff I'm trying to do on stream as far as just looking through it. I think I've actually reached the place that I was at last. So we can close down this new studio. Not going to bother saving it. And maybe later this week, we'll not only work on this outro that SVD put interest in, but also a couple of those other concepts like what's it called? One of the ones that I've actually put up for possibility with her as well. But I think now is a good time to power down. So I'm going to transition over into our chatting zone. Put the music on low, and I'm going to thank everybody who, lurking or not, stepped in and stepped out. Thank you guys for being here in the stream. I know that this is definitely not one of the most exciting ones I've done, but hey, I'm not here for the excitement, I'm here for the music. We are going to raid. Let's find out what that looks like. Who's on? It's a Monday. Oh my gosh. Unironically, SVD is just chatting. We're gonna go raider. All right, all two of us. Let's get this on. Let me highlight and paste my raid message. Ah, shoot. I meant to do those together. Let me do that again. Me not act like a complete scrub. There we go. We are going to raid out to SVD. Thanks everybody for sticking around. Catch you later.